you, sir. Thank you. So, with this token of love, a small token of love from our department, I'd like to hand over the session to you, sir. So, please.
Good morning to everyone. As yes said, I won't mention my name, Dr. Sobir. So I'll be presenting rightly. So introduction part, as we all know that Kokborok is a Tibeto-Burman language of Bodogara subgroup spoken in Northeast India, Tripura mainly. And it's also spoken in some parts of Assam, Mizoram, and our neighboring country, Bangladesh. It's around 2 lakhs spoken in Bangladesh in some parts, and so far it's there here. It's Mathura, Tripura, Dhaka. So Kokborok has close affinities to other Bodogara languages like Boro, Deuri, Garo, Dimasa, Dapa, Tiwa, Sonwa, Kachari, etc. And we have population of more than 1 million in Tripura. So in Bangladesh, it's spoken in Khalwasari, Rangamati, Bandarban, Sylhet division, Rasbari area, Dhaka. We have 300 speakers there. And in 6 divisions like Dhaka, Rajasi, Sylhet, Pune, Barisal, from 6, it's spoken in 3 divisions. So linguistic affiliation, as we all know that after Indo-Aryan in India, Sino-Tibetan is the second speakers in terms of speakers. We have Grierson classification, Barling, Sefer, David Bradley. And language families spoken in India, we have Indo-Aryan, Dravidian, Austroasiatic, Tibeto-Burman, Tai-Kadai, and Andamanese or Australasian languages, what came to be recently studied by Anvita Abhi. So exonyms for term Kokborok, how it came into existence or evolved. So in 1841, Sir F.I. he has written a 1-page note in Journal of Aesthetic Society, Bengal. It's written there in room, which says around 37 words, one list, which is quite familiar with our present day Kokboroks, most of the words. And Tipera, Chitraland in 1860, Levin, the hill trails of Chittagong, 1869, which has around 170 words of Tipera, at that time it was known as, and Campbell 1974, and Hill Tipera Hunter 1876, and Endel we have Hill Tipera, we have more than 60 words there and some phrases, and Anderson which he has written some notes on Hill Kachari and Boro, that includes Tripura also there. We have there are few words, and in 1997, which Kokborok were written by Dolal Ahmed and Troypur Ottomana by Radha Mohan Thakur, and Grierson has written, and here we come 1966, which we can find trace of Tripura at that time, and Tripuri in 1972 and 1976. So I think it started from maybe from Kokborok, then it came to Tripuri, from Tripura to other states, and Kokborok from 1976, and it was recognized in 1979. So we have some grammatical features which is also very important to mention here. We have 26 phonemes, that is alphabets, 6 of which are vowel, E, A, R, O, U, and U, which is centralized, which we use in present day Kokborok by using W, but there is not vowel actually. We cannot modify that, standardize our writing system. So we have 20 consonants, Pa, Fa, Ba, Ta, Da, Ja, Ja, Ka, Ka, Ga, Ma, Na, Na, Da, Ra, Sa, Ha, Wa, and Ya. So the basic syllabic structure of Kokborok is vowel, consonant, and vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, and CCV. That is consonant, and vowel. This is for monosyllabic words. And morphologically, we have 2 word classes, that is verbs and nouns. like most of the languages have these two big major word classes. We have this one adjectives also, but it's not open or major word class because it's classified as subcategory of verbs. And adverbs, it's also like subcategory of adjective, which is mostly derived from adjectives by suffixing. And Kokborok, as we all know, agglutinating language, there is more number of suffixes can be added after root word, and we have more number of suffixes than prefixes. And tense verbs can be inflected for tense, aspect, and mood for numbers sometimes. Like we have nouns are inflected for number and case marking. And verbs are mostly complex like other Tibeto-Burman languages. And we have pronouns, first person, second person, and third person, yes, like other languages. But the formation of first person plural is different from other TV languages. As we have and we have separate word for this we, chung. That is different. It's only found in Bodo languages. In other TV languages, suppose if we say the plural marker will be added. But in Kokborok, it's totally different. That is called suppletive form. And number of and kinship terms and personal pronouns, we use song, ram and others, ram song. And demonstrative, we have two types. That is proximal, which is near one, and u, that is distal for far. And for case marking, we have 9 cases. Top, that is for nominative case, we have 0 marking. That is accusative, bono, and bono again, that is dative, indirect marker. Bini, that is genitive or possessive. Bupalgi, that is ablative, and silaibai, that is instrumental. Bobai, that is commutative, with him. Kamitui, that means through village. Nobo, that is location, which is used for location. Numerals, we have decimal system 1 to 10, and till 100 is decimal system, the present numeral system, but the older numeral system, that is decimal system. And we have classifiers, that is, we have numeral classifiers, which is only used with numerals. We have for plant, like suppose for any nouns, while counting from lower to higher numerals, we use classifier, which is very important. And if you don't know the classifier, you will be loved, because we have to use while counting this classifier. For example, fang we use with plant, fangsa, fangsa, that means one plant. For fruit we use thai, that is bathai means fruit, thaisa means one fruit, top with drop of water, and many more. We have more than 50-60 classifiers in Kokborok. And kai, it's a generic classifier which is used with any nouns, and it can be replaced with any of the classifiers. And postpositions, we have, like English, we have preposition. So in Kokborok, we have postposition, as Kokborok is an SOP language. And we have simple and complex. That is Jora, it's simple up to, and from today, it's a complex postposition, because it has to be governed by something, some other postpositions or genitive markers. So tininisimi, that means this is genitive marker and this is tininisimi, that is from today. So we have to use here genitive marker, then only it can be used. Otherwise, we cannot use that postposition. And for word formation means creation of new words by using the existing words. So in Kokborok, we have many types of compounding. We have in noun compounding, we have noun plus noun is noun, and noun plus verb is noun, and verb plus verb is noun. So we have like examples, mui hamjuk, mui means curry, and hamjuk is a total. So we have noun and noun, it's created to noun. So reduplication is a duplication of words in part or full. So reduplication plays a very important in word formation in Kokborok, other than compounding. we have like full or complete duplication where the words are fully duplicated. Like we have knock knock, we say to each and every house. That means houses, and sabo sabo means who, the duplication, who plural, and big big, kotor kotor, the big ones. And in partial duplication, we have slight change in consonant or medial vowels, like knock knock, that means house and such, etc. Isa misa, something, and many more. And we have borrowing. So borrowing is a process by which one language or dialect takes or incorporates some linguistic elements from another language. So it's 1971. So we have mostly borrowed from Indo-Aryan and other languages. From Bengali, mainly mama, mami, kaka, and kaki. Apel, motor from other languages. And this verb is very important. So this is, will you say this clock is Bengali now? Huh? Will you say? Sir, will you say this clock is Bengali? It's totally Kokborok now. From Bengali word, kula, that means to open. And banok means bana, to make, banana. And burok means burak, from burak to roam or wander. And chalok means to drive, from chala to drive. And derivation is other important process where new words are formed by adding affixes, which can be prefix or suffix. Like musamu, musa means dance, mum is a suffix, by which it becomes dance. It means dances, or chamum, cha means to eat, and mum is suffix, which becomes food. Like same thing, we have namun, there is drinks, and this adverb, which is formed from adjective by suffixing k or kai according to the variation. And this is san means to ask, kai is a suffix, so it's a demand. And we have sentence structure. Yes, we all know there are 6 possible types of word order found in the languages of the world. So among those 6 word order, Kokborok follows SOB word order. So first we have subject, object, and verb. Ang rang man. That is, I got money. So in Kokborok, indirect object precedes the direct object, and we have dependent clause and main clause, and we have some other words where demonstrative, noun, postposition, adjectives. This is the order for basic word order for sentence structure. And it's a brief history now. So into the topic. So as we all know, Tripura was once ruled by kings, princely state. It was earlier divided into 2, hill and plain. The hill typifies the present Tripura, and the plain is Chakra Osnabrück, now in Bangladesh. So during the court, at that time in courts, Bengali was a court language, and it was patronized by the kings, and Maharaja did not speak Kokborok at that time. So educated section living in and around Agartala also did not speak Kokborok at that time, but we still see our earlier deputy, CM and present governor, they also don't speak Kokborok, though they are from the royal family. So in 1947, India was divided, and Tripura merged with India in 1949. So we got state in 72. So dimension of language landscape changed totally with the influx. And it's a quote from Berlin. 2 or 3 generations ago, Tripura state was predominantly Tibeto-Burman, but so many Bengalis have now settled there. The indigenous Tibeto-Burman speaking Kokborok, once the dominant group, have reduced to a minority in their own homeland. Berlin 2004. So we have in the history of formation UGS, Tripura Bhojati Yugoslav in 1957, and their demand was introduction of Kokborok language in Roman script and recognition of Kokborok in the state as an official language. So in 1975, we have from missionaries, we have translation of Bible work, that is Michael, and because of this formation of QGS and pressure, in 1979, Kokborok was recognized as an official language. So we have in 1972 formation of Kokborok, and still Kokborok Sector Sabha is working for the development of language, and Kokborok Sector Sabha has published more than 50 books in Kokborok language. In earlier, they have started with Bengali script. So in recent, this one, most of the books are published in Roman script. So linguistic education, brief history of Tripura. We have Garo, Mok, Chakma, Halam, Manipuri, Vishnupriya, Manipuri, Usai, and Kokborok. So Kokborok was taught in 1981 from 1981. It was actually started with medium of instruction. So in class 6, it was started in 1997. And in Bangladesh, Bangla being a national language of Bangladesh, have recognized Kokborok, and from class 1 to 4, it is being taught in Roman script. And they have not forced there for Kokborok language. And as a subject, Kokborok in TPSC, we have first board exam in 2001, and in class for higher secondary, we have 2003. And this is as per my personal communication. We have medium of instruction till 2005 in Ratanpur High School, which is upgraded now to higher secondary school. And in CBSE last 2022-23, Kokborok has been there in board examination. And in higher education, in colleges, we have 22 colleges where Kokborok is being offered. And in one private college, we all know that is Holy Cross College. And Kokborok started as a foundation course in 2011, and in 2012 as a elective subject. And university, we all know Kokborok started with 3 months course under Bengali department. The year is not this one, it may be 94 or 95. And later to 6 months course, and in 2004 or 5 in diploma course for 1 year. It was under Center for Tribal Languages. And in 2015, MA in Kokborok with intake capacity of 50, and later increased to 60. In 2018, 3 research scholars have been inducted in the department, and 3 are pursuing now. And unfortunately, we have lost 1 scholar, and 1 has submitted, and he will be awarded soon, maybe by February or March first week. So language policy. When it comes to policy, as per my research, I have seen there is no policy. Because we can see for textbooks preparation of SCRT, they publish books from class 1 to 5. We have Garo 1 to 5 textbooks are printed in Roman or English script, whatever we call it. And Halam 1 to class 5 in Roman script, and Musai 1 to class 12, 1 to 5, 1 to 8 SCRT publishes, and 9, 10, 11, 12 the Directorate of Kokborok publishes the language books. So for Kokborok, you see 1 to 12, it's all in Bengali script. So we have a problem with TBSC also. There is no policy. Tripura Gazette Extraordinary Issue, October 20, 2019. Candidates of the secondary and secondary examinations of the board shall have the option to write the question papers through the medium of either in English or Bengali provided there. There is 2 medium, we all know, Bengali or English. So the question papers in either, this one I am not touching, I am going to point 3. Scripts used for Sanskrit words while answering a question paper in Sanskrit shall be either Bengali or English or Devanagari. See, we have 3 options for Sanskrit. Though Devanagari script for question paper setting. Then Musai, Roman, no problem. And see, for script used for Pali, maybe either Roman or Bengali. Though Roman script will be used for setting the system. Pali no more used. We have in voice Butsu earlier, and this Ramthakur as secondary school. And for Pali, which is no more, and they have this policy, but for Kokborok, there is no policy. And we have issues and challenges. One of the major issue is script. We have the issue of script. Gazette notification of 1979 did not mention of any script, in which script Kokborok should be written. So, in order to resolve the problem, 4 commissions have been set up. First, 1990, we have chairman or under chairmanship of Samacharan Tripura, and 1996, Kumul Kundu Chaudhary, and 2004, Pavitra Sarkar, and 2023, Atul Devarma. So, the report of the committee, the recommendation of the committee was for adoption of Roman script for Kokborok language is Samacharan Tripura, and 2004, Pavitra Sarkar, Tripura Upajati Bhasha Commission, where he has distributed some questionnaires. We have 70.3% in Roman script, which supports, it's not once, it will be 70%, 17% Bengali script, and 10.91 in old script. And though Pavitra Sarkar did not give the clear-cut solution, but he has given some suggestions. Let the community decide. So that was issues. And Kumul Kundu Chaudhary, his report was never submitted, and Atul Devarma is on the way of processing. And the Tripura Official Language Rules 1999 states representation in Bengali or Kokborok language should be replied in Kokborok or either Bengali. But I don't know how many representations have been submitted in Kokborok or whether it has been accepted or not. I doubt that also. Because earlier no communications made in Kokborok are received in offices. So all government forms, statements, challans, etc. should be in Kokborok or Bengali. But I haven't seen so far any notifications, very few forms, statements, challans that are printed in Kokborok. So school education, we have KBT Kokborok teacher. 1978-79 was the first recruitment which was held, and 2002 was the last recruitment. Since then, no Kokborok teacher recruitment has been done. Textbooks are only in Bengali script, so English medium students are facing problems. Because we have now many English medium schools have come up, and they are facing the problem of the script issue. And it's only reprinted, not updated or it's unscientific, the textbook which I have seen. And we have PGT, around 30 teachers have been appointed, but more than 50 schools. It may be 70 also now. It's 2019 or 18 report. I don't know how they are managing. And in DIE, we have 2 posts for Kokborok lecturers. Only one is filled and one has retired last November 2014. So in BEd, no pedagogy in Kokborok, but we have PGT, no curriculum. So in some districts, Kokborok has not been introduced in schools in private secondary and higher secondary schools. So in higher education, we have colleges, we have 18 assistant professors recruited already, and we have 22. And with the coming of ADP, the syllabus is very big, and I don't know how they are popping up. And university, we have no post sanction. You might wonder, what about me? Actually, these 2 posts has been sanctioned for Center for Tribal Languages. It's under 9th plan and 10th plan. And we are having less materials for syllabus framing. And in MBB University 2017, 4 posts has been advertised, but so far no recruitment has been done. So we have challenges and issues. Teacher recruitment last. So because of this screen issue, we have this problem also. Actually, ICSC in 2011 movement for Kokborok, which was actually formed for obstructing 2004 Pavitra Sarkar Commission. This movement for Kokborok. So they have written a letter to ICSC 30 June 2011. So in between there are many communications. So last letter was sent from Kolkata office. It's on dated 15 December 2014 for quotation of textbooks, which has to be sent by 31st December 2014 for Kokborok to be started from 2015. So the examination would have been held in 2017. That means how many years Kokborok would have been in ICSC? So you can count from 17 to this is 25. That means 7 to 8 years. So this is the fault of, I don't know, government and some few people. It was directly instructed of Topal Chakraborty at that time. He was the education minister with our so-called intellectuals. I'm not going to mention their names. So in conclusion, we have a scope of employment and scope for inclusion in HCU, and I'll just go with few RTIs which we have filed. So can you provide the certified copy or copies of the policy decision of the government for framing Kokborok language question paper in Bengali script? So this was problem for last year, and actually there was no policy, but they have instructed CBSE to set question paper in Bengali script. And this is RTI for textbook. On what basis or decision is here? So no government order notification is available which instructs traditionally the textbook has printed using Bengali script. What is traditionally? And I don't know. They might know better. So Director of Kokborok and other minority languages. The first question on what basis Kokborok language 9 plus 12 are printed in Bengali script. No government order. So this as in elementary education.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice deliveries in Kokborok language. So I would like to invite any one of you if you have any question to the speaker. Please.
Sir, as you mentioned in your first slides, like there are 6 vowels in Kokborok.
Yeah.
There is a I with strike.
Actually, there is a IPA which I have taken from IPA.
What is the pronunciation?
It's
It's a long E.
It's not long.
Okay.
It's a central high vowel.
Central high.
Which is no. This is Kokborok is close to this vowel, so I have taken this vowel. The other vowels which is not close, I have this is more close, so I have taken this vowel as for that sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and he also mentioned like a is it 2 R's there in IP also? I mean,
No, there won't be two I. Yeah, there will be. It's a.
It's a pronunciation is
It will be tone.
tone. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a tone?
Yeah, it will be tone. We have, as I perceive, we have two tones.
Right.
There
You
is
mentioned that.
high and low.
Right.
So the other one will be level tone.
Okay.
Yeah. So that will not be marked.
Okay. And the second interesting point, as you mentioned, as per the Professor Sarkar, could you please go that slide where Professor Sarkar given that how many percent for the Roman script and Bengali script?
See here.
This one.
Yeah.
Like a 70% in Roman script for Kokborok, 17% you mentioned, 17%.
Yeah, it is 17.
Okay. 17% for the Bengali and 10%
Every
to
script.
the own script.
On screen.
Home script.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some people of Kokborok, they also try to create their own
Yeah, they
script.
have created actually with seminar was held in TTIPC in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. So they have collected 10 to 13 scripts which has been created or which they got in dream they say they have created. Around 10 to 13 scripts has been submitted.
Okay. But that is not yet finalized.
No, not is finalized. It has to be checked linguistically and by this type
Another interesting part, as here the statistics show in 2020, I mean 2004, 70% in Roman script and only 17 in Bengali. But as per the RTI and the results, mostly in the Bengali script only, I have seen. Like you mentioned, like in books are written in Bengali.
Yeah, books are written, sir.
But why not Roman script? Because most of the people
There
are
is how I can tell, sir. It's a policy of government. On what basis they are printing? We have asked RTI also. There is no basis or no policy.
This Kokborok is tonal. For tonal, I think it is better if you use Roman or if you, like maybe they have given.
Yeah, actually orthography part I could not prepare. I have that slide also. Can I use this?
Yes, yes.
To know how I
we want to write.
Yeah.
I'll just show you what is the problem with Devanagari or this.
Yes, yes. You can use your finger or pen.
So this is ho and this is long. That means straighten. Yeah, yeah. So when you use it with Bengali, so how will you use it? You use for, lo, ko. So where is vowel? There is no vowel.
Okay, right.
So this is we call it vowel harmony or vowel assimilation. This is actually intransitive verb. This is intransitive verb, and this is what you call transitivizer or positive prefix. So when we prefix for this this long s o vowel, so this vowel is being assimilated from long. So we cannot show this in Bengali script or in Devanagari script. So there are some others also which we cannot. It's better to use what is called Roman with modified version of
Like Latin, French, they have some special characters.
Actually, for Kokborok, we have problem. Actually, we don't have much problem. We have to show this wa. No, this is we are using it for vowel. Yeah. So we have to find alternative for this only. Other things are okay. If you want to use this CH, most of the people use it's like cho, but you can reduce this H also. You can throw this H. We don't need.
Right.
Yeah. And
Do you have cho?
no, we don't have cho. We don't have cho.
You don't have cho.
No, we have
Most
cho.
of the Bengali, I mean, we reading
Yeah,
cho
yeah,
as
yeah.
a C
Yeah.
and cho as a CH
CH.
most of the time.
Yeah.
Cha. This is
Suppose
cha.
Frenchman, he will come and say, "I'm my cha."
Cha.
He will not say chao. He will say "I'm my cha." He will pronounce it as cha, cha.
Right.
So better to try this also. And we have a problem only. This is the problem. Other things, I think we have to decide. And the problem is with the coming of new government in 2018, IFT and BJP, they have come up with new idea. That is Devanagari script.
That is another challenge.
Yeah, there is another challenge we are facing now. Yeah, any more questions? So we are, it's minor now, we have to do it. But we are having problem with the politicians intellectuals. Now we are going to use it in for our department. We'll make it from there. We will not make anybody.
Actually, tonal romanship is better. Language or any problem with tonal.
No, yeah, actually now from university to college, we can do it now.
Yes.
From university to college.
Your students.
College are my students.
Your students are going to
And
college.
slowly up to PGT, they are my students.
Yes.
30 PGTs. So that is,
That is your research.
we are having advantage.
Okay. So, sir, we are very much thankful to you because not only the linguistic approach, but to discuss about the various challenges that has been faced not only in tune but this one scripting also. So, I think if, as you have mentioned, that 10% is a own script, so I think it is dedicated for the Kokborok only. If I'm not wrong, we have the script for this one, mock or
Actually, mock, it's Barbie script.
okay.
It's totally, they have adopted Barbie script.
Okay.
And Chakma, they have modified and revised those Barbie script. I have studied those also.
Okay. Thank you for this insights. So thank you, sir, once again. And we are also fortunate to have Dr. Shapan Dharma sir with us. But sir will continue or will continue with the next session after the tea break. Yes, we'll have a quick tea break after the next session. Thank you. So we are about to start the next session. As mentioned earlier, this session will be taken care by Dr. Swapan Burma. He is Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Agartala. We have been associated with sir since long. All the faculty members of our department are like younger brother, and he has been the mentor when I was there in Agartala. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. I welcome you on behalf of Department of IT. And you can see the talk would be machine translation for Kokborok languages. So before sir starts with his presentation, I would like to request our HOD sir to felicitate our speaker, Dr. Swapan Dharma sir. warm token of love from our side. So with this, I'd like to hand over to you to proceed with your presentation.
Good afternoon to everyone. As my address is already given by Dr. Joyto sir, actually Tripura University is prolonged in association with me, and most of the faculties, they are well known to me and they are very much breezily connected with me. As I have been already addressed, so I don't think so I need to be said about me. Let me again remind myself that I am faculty in CSE department, working in data science, and many of my students, they are working on this, and I am very happy to work in my own language. In 2023, right, one Divangshi Jangili from Maharashtra, she worked in this local Kapuri language in NLP, and she could publish a good, not journal, a good conference, which is indexing on Scopus. And presently now I am working again in one of my MTech students. He is from Rajasthan. He is also working in some local language, which I cannot understand, but the way we are approaching to local languages, really it feels me very good, because we Indians have got multiple cultures, multiple languages, multiple food habits. So in this platform actually, I thought of making machine translations in Kokborok and some other local dialect. One of my students, probably previous, he had his session, Pankaj Dagorma, he is also working with me, and I am supervising him as a PhD supervisor. Anyway, let's begin our talk, because I will take much time. Before that, every month January of every year is celebrated as New Year. So from my side, heartiest greetings to you. Happy New Year 2025. Okay, let's begin. Actually, I am not that good enough in grammar of Kokborok, grammar and this one, part of speech of Kokborok. But my work is, as we have been taking our tea, that the application we are going to give with this language, that is Kokborok. The applications are, it will be digitized further. So, few days back you have heard, I'll come to that slide. Few days back, this one, Bashini one project, one workshop held in Agartala, 29th of this month instance. And thereby, many encouragements were given to the local languages and local dialects. So I'll come to that. Machine translation for Kokborok. Actually, what do we need to translate? We have got simply English to Bengali translation, English to Kokborok translation, English to Hindi translation. That is simply plain text translation, as we human beings do. But what do we do with machine? Actually, these things, we are all surrounded with machines. So we need to train the machine so that they would be for our use. They would be for our use. How? Let us check out. Before that, let me share a little bit from my own side. Kokborok language is something like scientific language. Like for example, let us take one example. Like this hand, the body part of hand. Hand would say in Kokborok yak, Y-A-K, yak. Okay? And if we say nail, yasku, it all would start with Y. If it is say yatha, the palm, it will be yak. Then if you say this one, this portion, it would be yakut. When we say leg, yakum, yasuku, all start with ya like that. In other languages, I hardly find that kind of connection, but in Kokborok I have found this one. Although it is not referred or no resource has been archived, but I find myself that it is all scientific like that. Like when you say face, gumkham, in short we can mukham, but it should be gumkham. Then it will be buku, bukhu, bukunju. It would start with bo. So in short, we can say it is a scientific or logical language, which I find from myself. Actually, Kokborok still it is in its incubation state. What I mean is that with related to machine training, it is very much in incubation stage. That is in a just baby born stage. Has got very low digitalization platform. I would say even in Google translation, when we search in Google, many of the European languages, those high resource language, standard language, even in Bengali also, it has come out in Google translation. But in Kokborok, it has not been translated yet. I mean to say, when we command a prompt to Google, hey Google, find me out in somewhere in Bengali, then it would exactly the sentence or the meaning I want may not be that prompted, but some idea would be given. But when I say, hey Google, my name is Sopal Dev Burma, translating Kokborok, there is no nothing. So, training the machine in Kokborok, many of us we are having smart TV at home, right? In smart TV, when you pick up remote, when you press Google Talk then to find out what is the weather temperature today, in voice to text it translates. But this facilities, I mean to say, this research has yet to be done in Kokborok. So myself, Pankaj sir, we are working on it. We are preparing one dictionary in Kokborok, which will be digitized, not simply typing and testing. The machine would be trained, machine would understand. When I say hello, it should be translated into Kokborok. So it will be completely digitized. Second thing is that digital support is very low. What I mean is that the Kokborok, which people used to speak or have conversation, we human beings we can conversation, no problem. But we are bringing a bridge between human being and machine, as other standardized languages are doing. So in that way we are approaching. Very early stage, as I said, it is in incubation state. Just baby has just born. That is making connection between Kokborok and machine with some other compared with some other standard languages. It is very low. Third thing is limited corpus. If what is not being done, then corpus will be limited low. Other standard languages, they have got huge standardized data set and data set. But in Kokborok, very low, this one, wow, bag of words are limited. Similarly, lack of standardized data set or database, if working is not done, if research is not done with respect to Kokborok and machine, obviously there will be limitation of this data size and data set. Presently what we are doing today, we simply manually doing Kokborok, but with machines we are not healthy approach to train the machine. So Kokborok is really having many challenges. As few minutes back, one sir has had a talk that many challenges are still left. And if we work in Kokborok and other dialects, we will be the pioneer in this matter. present efforts with NLP. I'm working in NLP, natural language processing, and in broader sense, the domain would be data science. Here, what we see, significant process is being made in the training domain. Yes, we are working on it. But limitations of resources, limitations of fund, limitations of forming a group is a major challenge. But somehow we are making it, and someday we will be marking our milestone with a flag, which I believe. Research papers focus on Kokborok NLP, including text translation, speech recognition, and dictionary building. These things are still left. Up to POS, part of speech and stemming we have worked, but they are still yet need to be standardized. During this one, 2014 and 15, when I was working in stemming of Kokborok's words, thereby I went to TTABC library, and Vijay sir, he has given me some suggestions in this regard. And again, another person, I forgot his name. He is also working. He writes some poem and all in Kokborok and some stories. Then I went to Don Bosco also, who shoot the film Yaran. Yaran. I went to them. And I'm not blaming them. Three of them, they are in a position that my sweet is tastier than any others. They claim it. My apple is very good than any others. So I'm in a dilemma to making a path to bring my work done. One says it should be like that, other says my one is standard, the other one is my one is the only one and the best. Finding no other way, what I do, I pick up the Bible, which has been translated in 1979, this New Testament. With that reference, I started working, and I could publish a few papers in AAA Explore. It is there, publicly free, available, you can access it. So that was the challenges which we started, and we are in a position that local dialects, especially, which are not enlisted in the Indian language consortium, for those languages is really a big challenge. Now, efforts are really being done, but literally, if I say that by texting or by publicizing in newspapers, in banners, these efforts are being done from society side or government side. But whenever we see that among us, those who are speaking dialects, like local dialects in Bengali, one of my students is Methili Chakraborty. I am giving her a work to translate local Bengali language, which we speak in Tripura and in Assam and in Bangladesh, because our tone and our sentences are different than that of West Bengal. So I'm getting her to work on that local Bengali dialect, and she is happy working in that, and she is doing good work. So many organizations, many colleges, many government sectors, they are offering us good approach to do so. But whenever physically we go to them, we find a path, and the path ends at the beginning. So that is the challenge. But what I have seen in Tripura universities and some of the universities like Tripura universities, really Tripura University, I appreciate that Tripura University is encouraging for any incubation research. For a small thing, it is bringing a good tuning and good shape. That is why I like Tripura University very much. Even I like in NIT also. So these are the actually work which still have to be done. And if we would collectively work on this, then I would appreciate one more after decade, 10 years or 20 years, it will be standardized with a good data set and database. As I was talking about Basini. Few days back, yesterday, in Pragga Bhavan, Basini workshop has been held. Thereby, this has been taken from Basini LinkedIn. Basini, as you know, Basini is nothing but it is a bas, means to speak. Bas means shobdo, to speak. And this has been derived, these things are all historic things, but as government has approached to work in bringing the local dialects into a standardized form, so I appreciate it. Many projects may be granted from this platform, Basini. ये हुआ था प्रॉका भवन में 29 जनवरी को, just yesterday. I thought of attending it, and in the beginning I attended, then I left because of some official work there in Canada. And in that, Tripura state is the first state among Northeast to sign memorandum of understanding between Meiti. And in that talk, in the beginning of the talk, they have vision as that vision for digital inclusivity for local languages of Tripura. Not restricted to Kokborok only, but local languages of Tripura, which includes our local dialect Bangli, Chakma, Riyan, Rankol, and many more. And I really love to have that this one, in that workshop. Second thing is they emphasize that in real time digitalization it will be implemented. Like for example, suppose a person is having a person who cannot speak English, Hindi or Bengali. If he or she wants to express his own feelings, he would be speaking in Kokborok, it will be translated in Bengali or Hindi or in English. Many of our grandmother, those who live in countryside, that is village, they cannot speak English, Hindi or Bengali very well. But when they want to express anything in their own dialect, they would simply express their own dialect and it will be translated. It will be translated into standardized English, Hindi or Bengali. So that was the promise they have said, that in the real time situation it will be translated to speech to text and vice versa, voice to voice. Something like interpretation, something like translation, something like machine would be in between. Person who speaks something, it will be translated to some other language, which we find in many of the countries like Russia, China. They speak their own language, but it will be translated to English or convenient understanding language, which Basini promised us. Next is, my working model is in NLP, and now it has come to translation of translation model, machine translation model. What is it actually? Machine translation is a subfield of NLP, subdomain of NLP that focus on automatically translating text from one language to another, that is source and target. For example, suppose Ami Khamu, in local language Ami Khamu. The source will be Ami Khamu, local dialect, and target will be in English, the desired language which you want to get translated. It may be a Hindi, it may be a pure Bengali. Ami Khamu, it will be Ami Khamu. Ami Khamu, it will be I will eat. Ami Khamu means मैं खाऊंगा ये मैं खाऊंगी. So the source will be Ami Khamu, that local dialect, and it will be translated into our desired standard language. So that is the machine translation, nothing else. We human being, we can translate it human to human, but in between through via machine, we are trying so. And Google is very much interested to upgrade those local languages through machine translation. Sundar Pichai in some other talk, he said that his dream is to get translated through machine all over the world. Not restricted to India, not restricted to Asia. Through the world it will be translated the local dialect. That is why we have seen many of us, we are aware of chatbot and ChatGPT. Through this effort only, the ChatGPT has come to our life. And now it is becoming very popular. Many of us, to write any kind of suggestions, any kind of letters, any kind of paragraph, we use the standard English or standard other languages, we take the help of ChatGPT. That is why this era has come to us, that machine translation is very much important. With machines we can work, we can multiply our work. So, advent of this machine translation, instead of this machine translation has come very much popular in our world, in our life. And I wonder, some other day, we would prompt a command to a machine that, get me a cup of tea, please. Machine would come and serve a hot tea or hot coffee. These days are coming. Digitalization is coming in our life. The model for this, the generalized model for machine translation is the source language that is input, say Kokborok. It will be pre-processed, that is cleaning and normalizing. What I mean is that many of the word which has been by location, it has been generated, which are not standardized. While working with NLP, I have found that after every 50 kilometer, the taste of water is different. Same the way the conversation words and conversation dialects are changing. After every 50 kilometers, the tone of that language, same language, the meaning of that language and the expression of that language changes. I did my schooling in Navodaya Vidyalaya in Ramchandra Ghat, that is in Wai. The Bengali language, what we speak here, is, you can say, 30% changes in Wai. We say no. We say na. Na re, na na like that in Bengali. They say nabe. Nabe. And many of the words are this one, generated from their local. So what I mean is that if it is the speaking people of Tripura, the Bengali speaking people from Tripura or Kokborok speaking people or a dialect, it need to be first standardized for this zone. So that is the pre-processing work, that is cleaning and normalizing. Otherwise, for every local, every zone, every location, if we go on changing the words or changing the expression, then the machine would be robust. And for processing, it will take much time. And our purpose of accepting that achievement would be not that standard. So that lies the pre-processing part. Then tokenization of words of token or segmentation, which is apart from that side, is machine translation. Well, after normalizing, many of the words are need to be again synthesized. they will be given some tokenized, and segmentation is required there. So we keep there as a bag of words. Bag of words. Then comes to this translation, that is the main part, machine, which we are interested in. I have a good language, this one. I mean, I'm not a linguistic rather. Grammar and all I hardly can understand. But our main work is in this machine translation. In this machine translation, we have to feed the machine in such a way that the machine can eat it, the machine can understand it. And the output would be our desired output. So, once we can fit in this, we may not achieve 100% desired output, but at least something would come. Those standard languages, they are able to do so. So why not we? Why not Kokborok? Why not local Bengali? So that is our target. So four of us, we data science researchers, rather faculties, we have thought of doing this work. When Sonibal sir, HOD of this IT department, when he offered this talk, I was very much enthusiastic to come. Then I thought of sending Dr. Kunal Chakma to say so. But he said, in Chakma, I would not be able to explain this one because he is born and brought up from Arunachal Pradesh, then having his father served in Delhi, then he is not that good in Chakma. He said, suppose sir, you go there because you have been working here and you have been supervising in this field, better you go and say. So in spite of tight time, I come today to say, to express my interest, so that collectively we can work together and bring a new flavor into this local dialects. So machine translation, now presently 2 people are working, and we are finding some challenges. Obviously, during research we find always challenging. Next is post processing. That is, we need to have a standard database. Recording here means we need to have a database. As and when we work, we need our data for machine translation. We can take from there. That is the recording part. Or making a friendship between the existing grammar and the database. When you speak something, we need to have good grammar and good pronunciation and good standard word. 3 things are very much important when we have conversation. Deliverance of this conversation is depending upon good grammar, good pronunciation, and good word also. Many of us, we speak, but majority of the people, they are not able to express what they are saying. So interest part is that most of the public aware people, especially the politicians, they can win people's heart. Why? Because the pronunciation and the words when they deliver while their speech makes very much sense and correctly to the heart of every listeners. That is why they are able to gather the public, gather the audience. So that is important. So that part is nothing but your recording part, so that you can have a good database, a standard database for machine translation. That database cannot be carried. Actually, it is a platform where in every machine translation, as and when the database is required, it will be taken from there. Like for example, if I talk about computer science, or how this computer works, or how this cell phone works, there is a processor, there is an operating system installed onto it, motherboard physical connections are there, unless operating system synthesizes all the database fetching from your secondary memory, that is hard disk, the processor won't be able to process it. What I mean is that if my mother cannot cook, if my mother does not cook the food, either chawal or roti, I won't be able to eat it. My father brings and buy some maida and rice and give it to me to eat. I won't be able to eat it. So here the operating system is my mother. I'm eater, so I am the CPU, and database or the data is that chawal and that the game. So they need to be standardized, and they need to be standardized, and they would be called off or fetched as a went before. Same thing I would like to highlight here is that this recording and fixing for grammar, that is nothing but making of database standard. As Kokborok is not yet been standardized, we are making on to it and working on that. And lastly, the desired output which we want. So, in summarization, what I can say is that this is very pre-generalized machine translation model. So, with this, each and every language, those who are standardized till date, they follow this model. Actually, this one is I have taken a little bit help from ChatGPT, and I took this. I should have mentioned here actually from Chatbot. So this is what machine translation is about. Models, empty models, that is rule-based machine translation, which is nothing but uses linguistic rules, that is grammar, bag of words, then your sentences of any kind of language, no problem. It requires extensive human efforts, obviously. Without human intervention, it is not possible to make anything standard or useful. So, it requires extensive human efforts in defining syntactic, semantic, and morphological rules for each language pair. What I mean is that in rule-based actually, every language which needs to be translated from machine, they need to have a good fittings towards it. Without good fittings, without good input side, you cannot process a language through machine. That's what I mean to say. This rule based also they have got some their type. They are direct translation, that is one word is there, it is translated. One sentence is there, it is directly translated. That is direct translation. Second is transfer based translation. What is that? Uses linguistic analysis, that is syntax or morphology, to improve translation quality. It means any of the word which I have taken just now, that white Bengali people and Bengali speakers and Southern Bengali local speaking people, their dialects and pronunciation differs. So some of the inputs, that is some of the words or sentences, they are derived with respect to location. Little bit differ from the standard. So that comes under your transfer based translation. Second is interlingual based translation. Few speakers who have said that direct words. That is, few of the words like ghola, then chalo, he mentioned that word. Those are all derived actually from one language to another language. Even in English, Indian English, baranda is accepted as the word for English. Baranda. In Indian language, in English literature, baranda is accepted. Like presently, we say Google. Google has become a bar. Please Google it. So due to situation, due to usability, due to frequent usage, some of the words they are from one activity to sentence it has been formed, one activity to another sentence it has been formed, and some other languages has been taken from some other basic languages, that is standard language. Many of the Kokborok words they are derived from, they are accepted from Bengali. There are many words in Kokborok which are, I can say 50% of the words in Kokborok they are taken from Bengali. These days, the bilingual transferring words are very common. Very common. Even in English also, this French English would be different than that of the American English. The Hindi which we speak in India is different from zone to zone, state to state. Mumbai Marathi Hindi would be different than that of Rajasthan, and same in Kolkata, maybe different in even in this one, Assam. So they are speaking Hindi, but due to their derivation of changing of the languages, it becomes something different than that of the standard one. But standard Hindi is different than that of the local Hindi. This is what interlingual based translation from one language to another language.